Do you think bad relationships are only for the younger generation? If you did, guess again. Check out this story of a 63 years old man that will shock you. And please consider subscribing in the channel for more. Let's go. You won't believe the most expensive lesson I learned in my life. Sit down because this is a wild ride. My name is Tom, and now, at 63 years old, I look back and see how the choices I made led me to places I never imagined. It all started when I met Lisa. She was everything I ever wanted: beautiful, intelligent, funny, and full of life. When we got married, I was convinced I had found the perfect woman. In the beginning, everything was a fairy tale. Our nights were filled with laughter, romantic dinners, and plans for the future. I would daydream about what our life together would be like: kids, a beautiful house, and that eternal happiness everyone talks about. We traveled whenever we could, exploring new places and creating incredible memories. I was completely in love and thought nothing could go wrong. But as time went on, things began to change. The routine set in, and the little things that were once charming started to become irritating. Lisa began to feel dissatisfied with life, and I didn't know how to deal with it. What I didn't realize was that I was losing control of the situation. I was so focused on pleasing her that I neglected my own needs. One day, she came to me and said she was unhappy. My heart stopped for a moment. I tried everything to fix things: special dinners, surprise trips, but nothing seemed to work. The truth is that I was so blinded by love that I didn't see the warning signs. I remember one specific night when we tried to have a serious conversation about our relationship. We were sitting at the kitchen table with the lights dimmed, creating an intimate atmosphere. I prepared a special dinner, an Italian dish she loved. However, as I spoke about our future plans, I noticed her distant expression. She seemed lost in thought, as if she were somewhere else entirely. "Tom," she finally said, "I just don't know if this is what I want." Those words echoed in my mind like a bell tolling at a funeral. The shock was so overwhelming that I could barely respond. Desperation began to settle in. I wanted to understand what had changed. Then came the bombshell: Lisa told me she wanted a divorce. At that moment, everything crumbled. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. How could this happen? After everything we had been through together. The shock was so great that I could barely react. The divorce process turned into a nightmare. I had no idea how complicated and painful it could be. Lisa hired a fierce lawyer while I felt lost without knowing how to defend myself. I was caught off guard at every stage of the process: child support, division of assets. It all left me completely devastated. Ignorance about relationship dynamics cost me dearly. If I had understood more about the red pill, about how relationships really work, maybe I would have made different choices before reaching the point of divorce. But at the time, I was just a passionate and naive man. The divorce left me financially ruined. I lost almost everything: my house, my savings, and even some of my most precious belongings, like the paintings from our trips together. I remember sitting on my empty couch after she moved out, staring at the bare walls and thinking about how everything had changed so quickly. As time went by, I began to realize the emotional impact all of this had on me. The loneliness was overwhelming. It felt like I had lost not just a wife but also a piece of myself. I started questioning my choices and how I had lived my life up until that point. In the months following the divorce, I threw myself into work to try to forget the pain. But no amount of money could fill that emotional void. I worked long hours in a job that no longer satisfied me. Every penny seemed to disappear faster than I could earn it. It was then that I started searching for answers. Why did this happen? What could I have done differently? It was during this vulnerable moment that I stumbled upon some online groups discussing relationships and red pill concepts. I began reading about dynamics between men and women and realized how uninformed I truly was. The red pill opened my eyes to many hard truths about modern relationships, how expectations are often unrealistic and how easy it is to lose oneself in a relationship without noticing warning signs. I learned about the importance of self-worth and emotional independence. Over time, I began to rebuild my life. It wasn't easy, it took years for me to overcome the emotional scars left by the divorce. But this journey also taught me a lot about myself and what truly matters in life. Looking back now at 63 years old, there's a mix of pain and gratitude within me. The experience was one of the hardest in my life but also one of the most educational. I've learned the importance of being honest with myself and others, something fundamental in any healthy relationship. If you're listening to this now and going through a tough time in your love life or finances, know there's hope. Learning from mistakes is part of human growth, we all have our personal struggles. Now I'm in a better place, I've come back to believe in love and healthy relationships, but with a new perspective. I'm more aware of signs and more focused on maintaining my own identity within any future relationship. But let me tell you something else, as time passed after my divorce, there were moments when loneliness crept back in unexpectedly. Sometimes I'd find myself sitting alone at home during weekends while friends were out with their families or partners. That would hit hard sometimes. I started exploring hobbies I'd neglected over the years. Painting again became therapeutic for me, it allowed me an outlet for all those pent-up emotions. And then there were those nights when I'd go out with friends who had supported me through thick and thin. They reminded me what friendship looked like outside romantic relationships. One night stands out vividly, we went bowling together, something simple yet fun. As we laughed over missed shots and celebrated strikes, which were few, it dawned on me how important these connections were in rebuilding my sense of self-worth. As months turned into years, post-divorce journey continued unfolding before me like an unexpected adventure. Each day brought new challenges but also fresh opportunities for growth. Slowly but surely confidence began returning. I even started dating again after some time, cautiously at first because trust issues lingered from past experiences. But eventually met someone special named Emily who shared similar interests. She loved art just as much as me. Our first date felt like magic, we talked for hours about everything under the sun. It felt refreshing being able to connect deeply without fear holding us back. There were no unrealistic expectations or pressure, just two people enjoying each other's company. With Emily by my side came newfound hope. She encouraged me pursue passions once forgotten during tumultuous marriage days. Together we explored local galleries showcasing talented artists while sharing dreams for future adventures. As our relationship blossomed, further realized importance maintaining individuality within partnership too. We both encouraged each other grow independently while supporting one another's aspirations wholeheartedly. Emily had this contagious energy. She always found creative ways for us to have fun together. Once we decided on a spontaneous trip to a nearby city just to explore new local restaurants. That freedom felt new to me, something I'd longed for during years of turmoil. During that trip we talked about our past experiences. Emily shared her own emotional struggles after a difficult previous relationship too. This created a safe space between us where we could talk openly without judgments. Today, looking back at past experiences, feel grateful despite hardships endured a long way. Those lessons shaped who I've become today, wiser, stronger than ever before. So here's what I've learned through all this. Sometimes life throws curveballs our way, forcing us reevaluate priorities, values hold dear. It's essential remember not lose sight ourselves amidst chaos surrounding us. Share your thoughts on the comments section and don't forget to follow for more videos like this one.